I'm never trying to identify something before I hear it or experience it. And I think that's what we do as a culture that is flawed.
Mm.
We try to label it, tell you what it is before you experience it. It's why you've got 2 hours of people talking about who's going to win the game before they play it. Like,
yeah,
let them play it and then find out,
And in that vein, you told me one time when we first met, or when I first moved to Nashville.
Yeah.
We talked on the phone for a little while. I was going through a hard time, and since being here, it's been hard. I mean, moving here and doing the music thing is not easy. And I remember that you said let go of the results.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just going to say, I feel like what you just said about the culture, everyone's trying to control the result and the outcome.
Mm-hmm. And then once they try to control that, then their definition of what you are is based solely on the success you have. Success doesn't mean something's great or not. It just means it was successful. There's a lot of hit songs that aren't great songs. There's a lot of great songs that aren't hit songs. And if you let the results be only by, I enjoyed the struggles every bit as much, and maybe more, than the success. The success was easy to respond to because it was a relief, and it wasn't hard to be grateful. But those years that you struggle and you're doing what you're doing, and you go, man, my ears tell me I'm okay. My ears tell me I can hang with any of these people, and then it doesn't happen, and it can be deflating. But I've never let either the struggling years or the successful years be my definition of what I had to offer and how good I was at what I was doing. It's weird, and I like what I'm doing now that goes largely unnoticed, way more than the stuff that was noticed by the whole world.
Mm.
I think it's better. My ears tell me it's better, so I'm not letting the results dictate my value.
Yeah.
Or my worth, or my talent, or any of those things, because you can't control them. At any point, I couldn't control the fact that my records weren't happening, and I couldn't control the fact that they were. I just did the work and threw it out there, and it was out of my hands the whole time. So I'm not gonna go rah, 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 I'm successful.
Yeah.
Just as much time that I wasn't, so it didn't ever matter to me.
When did you have that first, because I know you were in LA in 76 and then moved to Nashville in 83, and I believe, if I'm right on those dates.
Yeah.
Where was that? Because with Pure Prairie League, they were on the come up. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? The thing the way I look at it at all these points was in 1975, I left home to play in a bluegrass band. And it was a band that was well known. They made records. So in the world that I was in of bluegrass, I was doing about as good as you could hope to do. And then a step from a couple of bluegrass bands later to becoming a part of Pure Prairie League. And I was all of a sudden I was in a rock and roll band, and it felt like I was making progress. Not so much the results of where those things were, but you have to kind of, I guess, be honest enough to look at what you're involved in the completeness of it, and hold it up to what's going on at the time. And so in those years, make a couple $100 a week. I'm not killing it, but I feel successful because I'm a professional musician. I'm playing with some of the best musicians there are. And Rodney's band, after Pure Prairie League, and Roseanne's band, those musicians were better than the previous musicians I'd played with. And so to me, it's positive because I'm around better music, better songs, better everything. And Did that translate for me as a solo artist? Not for a while. But at the same time I was doing all those things for myself in my own career, I was also singing on hundreds of records and playing on tons of records that let me know you have enough talent to be a part of the thing. And so that felt like success. And everywhere I've gone, it's always in my heart, it has had enough input on me that what I was doing was significant, and part of the process. I didn't get the lion's share of the attention, but I didn't mind, because honestly, in those early days, buying records and figuring out how to play, I liked the session guys. I liked the guys on the back of a record jacket. And I aspired to that long before I had a hairbrush in the mirror thinking I wanted to be Elvis. Mm-hmm. I never really wanted, that was never part of my plan. So kind of, I look at my career in the entirety of it, mm-hmm. and the different places I've got to go stretch and go play and do a duet with Diana Krall and do a duet with Barbra Streisand and Ralph Stanley and, George Jones on the other side of the spectrum. And I love the chameleon kind of aspect to it all. That's mm-hmm. what, to me, made me a more complete musician, was being able to not only walk into one world and be able to do it, but to walk into several mm-hmm. and be able to contribute and be authentic and be a part of it. That felt as successful as a hit record in a way, because you had enough talent, people would want you to be a part of something they were doing. That felt successful to me.
Yeah.